GDPR Part 2. Okay, today I want to share with you the exact steps I took to comply with the new GDPR law, which is going to come into effect on the 25th of May, so only a couple of weeks left. Okay, I'm going to go into Squarespace with you. I'm going to show you what I did in MailChimp, and I will see what else I can show you as I go along, so just to see what exactly I did. I'm Kerstin Beckley. I'm a Squarespace website creation coach. I'm a MailChimp fan, and as it turns out, I am a GDPR nerd. I've been researching all this GDPR thing for the last couple of weeks, and now I'm here to share what I learned with you the right way, so to take the right steps to comply with the new GDPR law. I've been talking to a guy called James Chido. He is a certified information privacy professional, and I've been on the phone with him on Skype twice, even yesterday for an hour and a half, because I had 24 questions, because I wanted to do it right. I wanted to feel safe and protect myself, as well as telling my people what I do with their data, how I collect their data, and what data I collect, and so on. But I'm going to go through that with you step by step, and I will show it to you within my Squarespace website. So I'm going to share everything with you right now. So let's do it. Okay, I'm in my dashboard in my Squarespace website, but before I start with the steps I took to be GDPR compliant, I wanted to just point out that I'm not a lawyer. I just did a lot of research over the last few weeks on GDPR, which is why I got so obsessed with it and a little bit of a GDPR nerd. I also asked a lot of questions to two people. One is an attorney, the other one is a certified information privacy professional called James Chido from Disclaimer Template, and he was the one that came back to me. The attorney didn't, so he is the one that I trusted. He also took time to speak with me on Skype in person, not once but twice, and he answered a lot of questions because I wanted to make sure I'm giving you the right information in this tutorial. So let's start. Okay, the first thing I did, I tackled my privacy policy followed by my terms and conditions. So I did this. I purchased a privacy notice template from Disclaimer Template, which is also the same person who talked to me on Skype twice, James Chido, but he didn't just sell it to me, he also helped me so much with customizing it as well. So we were talking about it, and also I added a few sections here myself. I run it by him. So yeah, to be honest, you're not supposed to copy it anyway, so which you're not going to do. You can't copy it because it is protected by the copyright here, Orion Systems, but I am going to give you the link to get your hands on it the same way I did. So there is one package that is called the Big Three, which is includes the privacy policy, the terms and conditions, and the website disclaimer, which are the exact things I wanted. So I thought this is a sign, and I just got my hands on it, and that was that. The other thing I wanted to point out, to make sure that this particular privacy policy, or like generally that you are protected, to make sure to have it at the navigation bar or on the side of your template, because the law requires to have your privacy notice and terms and conditions above the fold of your website. Because if it's in the footer, like I used to have it in the footer, you are actually not protected by law. So whatever protection you may have is next to none, if any, unless it's above the fold. So when, for example, somebody goes into my website, they are here, let's say like this, they click the button to, I don't know, buy something from me or check out what I have. Unless I have my privacy notice and terms and conditions above the fold for them to see, I am not actually protected. So just to keep that in mind, there's also a blog on this, also written by Disclaimer Template, where it says, are your privacy policies and disclaimers posted correctly on your website to comply with laws? And here it says, even though 90% of other websites, even the big people are doing it, it doesn't mean it's right. Because posting important documents like the privacy notice and the terms and conditions in the footer of your website will provide you with little or no legal protection. So I wasn't aware of it, which is why I put it into the top of my website like this. So just to be protected, just to be sure, So the next thing I did, I looked at my opt-in form, which is down here somewhere. For example, this one. This is an opt-in where I share 10 steps, or a free email tutorial to share 10 steps to start your Squarespace website. But my opt-in wasn't right because I didn't have the GDPR compliant copy on it. I didn't have a tick box. So the thing with the tick box is there is a lot of resistance to using it, but that is what the ICO wants. That's what they want. They want you to have a tick box there. However, but this is not confirmed. I did hear that you can also use a double opt-in, which will suffice, but I'm not sure if this is correct. So I was thinking of using a double opt-in because that way I have a record of it, of how people signed up. But again, I'm not sure if this is correct because the ICO, which is the Information Commissioner's Office, they said they want a tick box there so that people can click on I agree. The thing with Squarespace is that it does allow you to have the tick box there on the bottom. That's fine, you can do that by just cutting it out from here and putting it in here. See how the tick box is here, and now you can just write I agree, which is fine. But my problem is when I'm in MailChimp, all it says there in the text is I agree. So if the ICO ever knocked on my door, which is very unlikely, they're just going to see that and then they'll ask, what did they agree to? So it doesn't say anything. It doesn't give me any record of what they actually agreed to, which is why I did it this way. I put the text at the bottom here, so that the tick box is right beside it, because now when people sign up, what you see in MailChimp is this. Hang on a second. The entire text, and that way if the ICO asks me this question, I have the entire text. This is what they agreed to, and that is when they entered their email address right here. So they agreed first, they read the text, and then they entered the email address. One more important thing as well is to have your privacy notice and terms and conditions in the same opt-in box. These need to be in the opt-in box. Another problem with Squarespace is that unfortunately you cannot link this at all. So what it's going to look like is like this. You click into it and then you have this like this, but it's not a link. So people would need to copy it and then paste it and then read it that way. But that's all I can do for now. I am hoping that Squarespace is going to add that feature, hopefully before the 25th of May, which will then be so that we can make it possible to just add the links here. Same with the terms and conditions. They can copy it and paste it to have a look at them. So, and that's it. That's here. That's what I wanted to show you. Copy it and paste it and then put the email address in, and then they can send me, click the button to get the freebie. So that's it. And if they don't take the button, they just get the freebie. And that's where my problem is, that I might do away with freebies, but that's only just me, because what stops people to just get the freebie and never sign up to anything? Because that just means us creating the freebie just for the fun of it. So I mean, it is fun, but it doesn't mean you have to do it for free all the time and when nobody is willing to sign up, in which case I was thinking of something. But again, this is just my idea. This is not what ICO says. ICO says one tick box, that's it. But ICO also doesn't know how to run an online business, so they didn't create this very online business friendly. So what I'm thinking is, because research shows that people are more likely to sign up if there are two options, I agree, I don't agree, I'm thinking about doing it this way. Again, I need to think about it. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it, but I wanted to put it out there. And I also run it by James Chido, and he says it's okay. But again, it's not what ICO wants, but it's probably okay because it shows you are trying to comply. You're trying to do everything you can to comply. However, ICO says one box, but let me show you the idea I had. This is just me saying it. So instead of having one box there, I am going into it here. I'm going to put this up here again, and I'm going to put a checkbox here that says I agree to be added to Kirsten's VIP email list, because I'm explaining everything there of what they get, so they will have read this. And then I'm thinking about adding a second box, but this is only a thought, and it will be okay. However, ICO says just one box, so I don't agree. I just want the freebie for no, yeah, I don't know what am I gonna say there to make them think twice about it. I just want the freebie and give nothing in return. Can't really, yeah, I don't know. This has to be thought about, or well thought through with regards to the right copy to make them think, yeah, but I agree. So also research has shown people are more likely to say yes than no when they are. When they have to make a decision, if there's only one button, one tick, I agree, they are more likely to do nothing, so not tick it. So that's just food for thought, but I wanted to share it here. So I'm going to put this back the way it was for now, because I'm still thinking about it, but I'll leave it for now. Okay, the other thing I wanted to mention is when you have a tick box here, if I just quickly go in here, you cannot make this mandatory. So this cannot be mandatory. You are running the risk of giving them the freebie without them taking the box. If they don't take the box, because it needs to be what's the word, freely given consent, so they need to be able to get the freebie without having to tick the box, because that's the law. Then you run the risk of just giving them the freebie, but if they don't take it, you cannot send them any other email apart from sending them the one freebie, which is why this is probably not created for online businesses, and which is why I'm thinking of probably not giving away any freebies anymore. Just get them to sign up to my newsletter, because that way I can send them my freebies in the email, that in my email list, once they are on the email list, once they've agreed to sign up to my VIP email list. So maybe don't even bother with freebies anymore. But again, that's just my opinion, because that's what I might be doing. No more freebies unless you are on my newsletter list. So I'm not even gonna offer them anymore. I'm just gonna offer, hop on my newsletter, on my VIP email list, and I will send you freebies and make that all into the text, and make sure that I write you can unsubscribe at any time, and make sure that you write by checking the I agree box directly below. Well, see, I have to actually change that text. See? Good that I'm doing this, because the box is here. It's supposed to be below, but I talked about that earlier. In that case, I wanted to have the whole sentence here in my MailChimp, because I wanted on record what they signed up to. So that is it on the opt-in boxes. I wanted to show you quickly the marketing pop-up and what we can do there. So if you go into settings, you go into marketing, and you go into promotional pop-up. Here in this case, it's great that Squarespace allows us to put a link here. So where you can do that is here in the actions disclaimer, and that's where you can add the link. You put the words in, and then you click link, and you put your privacy link in there. However, you know, they comply with the one thing, but in this case you can't add a tick box anywhere. So, you know, which defeats the purpose, and it isn't sufficient. I haven't checked or changed the copy here yet to be GDPR compliant. However, I have unchecked, or I have disabled this pop-up box because there's no tick box just yet. I'm hoping Squarespace will change that fairly quickly because it is a requirement, a GDPR requirement. So the other thing that you can do, because it isn't available, the tick box, you can just require a double opt-in instead. So at least you can see when people signed up, and they have to actually confirm that they really want to be on that list, but make sure that the wording here is compliant or GDPR compliant, and it says what exactly they sign up for. So I would make this a newsletter and not a freebie, which I'm gonna have to change, and say, wanna hop on my newsletter? You're gonna get most weekly emails with, you know, all sorts of things. Actually, that is too general. You have to be specific of what they're gonna get, like freebies, special offers, all the list, all the things, and also make sure to say you can unsubscribe at any time. Yeah, no box. So instead of the tick box, no tick box, I mean, we're gonna do the double opt-in in this case, but at least we have the links here to our privacy policy. So that's one thing sorted. But again, tick box still missing, but let's hope, fingers crossed, that will be sorted soon. So if you are like me and you might want to wait a little bit, just disable it here. So this is where you enable it and disable the promotional pop-up. For now, I have it disabled, but yeah, I'm still thinking about it. So, okay, let's go into MailChimp. The GDPR also just came at the right time for me to give me a little kick in the bum to update or to tidy up my email list. So just think of it that way as well. It's a great opportunity to tidy up your email list, because the reason why I want to tidy it up is because when people don't open your emails, like for 6 months or even 3 months, your deliverability goes down. So there is more of a chance of your new emails landing in their spam folders because they never open them anyway. So I might as well tidy my email list up so that my emails are being delivered better and I get a better rating for my emails, for any future emails. So, but first I want to tidy it up and get rid of those email addresses that never open my emails anyway, because they are already in the spam folder and I will never get them back. So I might as well delete them. Let's do it. What do we do to tidy up our email list? First, I want to see and segment out the people who haven't opened my emails in the last 3 months. So let's do that. Okay, you click on the list, on the name of the list you want to work with. You click on to create a segment. So this is inside MailChimp. Create a segment. Make sure this says all here. Here you're going to choose the campaign activity. Here you're going to choose did not open. And here in the third one, this is the first condition. In the third one, you're going to choose I would like to choose the 6 months, but it only goes up to 3 months. So I'm going to, here at aggregate campaigns, I'm going to 3 months and see what happens. So then you're going to add another condition. So I'm going to click add, and I'm going to choose here campaign activity again, and was sent. So here in the aggregate campaigns, I'm going to choose all of the last 50. I haven't sent 50 in the last 3 months, but I just want to make sure. And then you would click preview segment. Obviously, I can't do that now because then all the email addresses are coming up. So this is what I would do before I send my reconsent or re-engagement email. However, you can also send your re-engagement email first to get reconsent from your email list before the 25th of May. Just make sure you have all the information there with regards to what they sign up to and that they can unsubscribe, and yeah, make it a bit spicy and juicy so that they want to sign up, or they want to stay on your list, I should say, because you know, otherwise you can't send them any more emails after the 25th of May. So I'm going to do this a couple of days, maybe a week before. Maybe I'm starting it already on Friday. Maybe I'm starting it yeah, actually today when I'm posting this YouTube tutorial. because I might want to send them another one maybe in 4 days or so, and then another one just to re-engage them. And then after the 24th of May, because I do not want to have a crossover time, after the 24th of May, if they don't reconsent, you can't send them any more emails after the 25th of May. So to create a group, let me just quickly do it, because I don't want to share the email addresses, obviously. So let me just quickly get to the place. Okay, so you go into your list, the list that you want to create the group for. Then you go into Manage Contacts, and then you go into Groups, and you get here, you click here, this is what I just said, Manage Contacts, Groups. And now you can click on Create Groups. I am going to click on Don't Show these groups on my sign up form, because I don't want that tick box to be there in this case, because this is just for me to order them or sort them within MailChimp. So I'm going to call this group GDPR Reconsented. Here I have to have at least one group name, so I'm going to call it Reconsented again, and I'm going to click Save. And now I can click done. I can click done for now, and I have created a group. So when I am sending out my re-engagement email, people who are going to reconsent or are replying to my email, I still have to get a confirmation on that to see if an email reply is okay and sufficient. Because once people say yes, or I agree via email reply, I want to do it that way, because I only have a small list, I'm going to manually put them into this group. So I know these have given me reconsent. I can send this group an email after the 25th of May. But I still have to get confirmation on to see if an email reply with yes or I agree is sufficient. Otherwise, I will have to put a MailChimp form in there for people to put in their email address again, GDPR compliant, and then just give me the consent with that opt-in that I showed you earlier with all that wording, you know, obviously for your business, to tell them what they are signing up for, what exactly are you going to send them, how often, and that they can unsubscribe anytime. So and that's it. Let me just quickly think if there's anything else. There's also a guide to the General Data Protection Regulation, which I have a PDF for, but you can also check all of it out here on the ico.org.uk website. So I'm going to put that link there as well, or I may write a blog on it and put all the links all the links I used in a blog. So let me know which one you prefer. If you just want to send me if you just want me to write you a blog with all the steps again, write it all out step by step, but I would need a couple of more days to do that. Or will I put some of the links here below in the description? So let me know. Yes, and also before I forget, there was one more important thing with regards to the what's it called? Data processing agreement. Whenever you are a controller, so I am a controller, I have a website, I have an online business, I collect email addresses, which makes me a controller. So whenever a controller uses a processor, which is, for example, MailChimp is a processor, it needs to have a written contract in place. So for example, I have asked MailChimp for their data processing agreement, and I was able to do it online. I yet have to do it, or I still have to do it with Squarespace, Drift, and whoever else. I'm using PayPal, Stripe, and whatever else I can't think of now. But I'm gonna have a table there just so I know exactly what I am collecting. This is also really good for me to get a whole overview. So maybe do that as well for you, depending on what third parties you're using. So MailChimp, or you know, whichever email automation or organization you use, you can do that, and it's just good to have. So I think that's it for now. I know there was a lot of information there, but I wanted to make sure to share everything with you, the exact steps I took, so that you can do them too. Just take it one step at a time. It's quite doable. I did it, so you can do it too. I wanted to give you the right information as well, so I made sure that I asked James Chido from Disclaimer Template. James Chido is the Certified Information Privacy Professional, and I wanted to make sure I'm giving you the right information. So just follow the steps you can do it. You still have a couple of weeks time, so you can just take it one step at a time. So let's do it. You can do it. And the package I got is called the Big 3 package, which includes the privacy policy, the terms and conditions, and the website disclaimer. And all those 3 I wanted. I've been thinking about it for a year to get the terms and conditions, to update them, and I never did. So this is the right time to do it. And also, if you want to subscribe to this YouTube channel, just click the subscribe button and also tick the little bell beside the subscribe button so you get notified whenever I update or whenever I upload a new video. So also make sure to ask me any questions, anything on Squarespace, MailChimp, or even GDPR. With regards to GDPR, I'm not a lawyer, so I just made sure I gave you the right information after consulting a privacy professional, but I'm not a lawyer, so you still have to do a little bit of your own research with regards to the privacy policy and the terms and conditions. Obviously, you can't copy it just like that, but there is a link where you can get your hands on the same package I got with all the instructions inside the package. It's the best package I could find out there with regards to the language, so people understand the words, because I wanted to make sure that people understand what's in there, that I'm protected, but also that people know what I do with their data and how I get their data. So that's it. I am going to see you again next week, next Friday, but also make sure to join my Facebook community of Squarespace newbies. That's where I hang out as well and help my people with their Squarespace questions, MailChimp questions, or anything beyond Squarespace, or Drift, live chat, image creation, whatever it is, I can help you with it. So, but especially Squarespace. Okay, talk to you next Friday. Here, same place. Talk to you soon.